I may start because we've passed the hour. Actually, Adam was supposed to join, but he might encounter an issue. So the goal was to introduce him because we don't introduce a new hire anymore in the company call, and as he was supposed to join here, I just wanted him to be known from you. Anyway, just move to the next items in the agenda, and we go back to him if he joins. Thomas.
Okay, yeah, I just jumped in line. So anyway, making it known to everybody. First of all, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Second of all, we have a lot of new starters this month, and so just wanted to go ahead and call out who they are and what team they are and what team they are in. We'll make sure to introduce them within the Slack channel. But on this particular team, we've got Stacy, who joined us a couple of weeks ago, and Cam, who will be starting on Wednesday, or at least Wednesday our time. So that's both of them are located in the APAC region, which is necessitating some rethinking on my part, at least for schedules and how we support team members within those particular time zones. Within SCA, I mean, well, Adam, I'm not going to steal Olivier's thunder, but also Mo joining last week. So that's 4 this month already, and there's more coming. Just wanted to call, if you see them around Slack, please don't hesitate or be shy. Please introduce yourself, say hello. If it happens to be convenient for you during your normal working times to have a coffee chat with them, please do so. With that, we'll go on down. And I don't know who's got number 3 on the agenda.
Sorry, it's me. I just wanted to add for your information. It was not supposed to be. Yeah. You can leverage the operation dashboard. This was explained in the previous staff meeting, secret staff meeting, and the issue was we had some failed pipeline on some of our project, and it looks like nobody is aware of them. So until we have great notification in place for those projects and automated QA, you can set up the operation dashboard to track and monitor the project that you're working on. And this is very handy to have a quick overview about the states. And next one is Philip. I think it's a read name, but it's still worth mentioning it. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, sure, thanks. Just wanted to remind you that you need to update your Zoom client. Instructions are there if needed. And make sure you're up to date, because I saw some RC vulnerability in there. It's not only the thing with the camera. We don't care that much about the camera. We are publishing our meetings on YouTube, so it's not really a big deal for most of us. But the RC might be something. So just don't forget that. Oh, brown bag sessions. Cool.
Ross is next. Go for it.
Yep. So for the backend, we've been weighting our issues, and it's always good to be calibrated on how we weight those issues. And I stumbled across these links for labels, for kind of a rough idea of how one could weight them. I guess they're kind of new, but just the general question was, is this roughly how we weight them? And I think there wasn't any disagreement on that, but we can certainly discuss that now.
So just to give some context to these labels, these have been created by Create or Plan, I'm unsure, maybe by both, in order to facilitate the experiment, because they had the problem that splitting issues didn't work for them. Then they put the individual weights into the issue description, which always leads you to need to click into the issue. And this is basically the workaround they came up with. I would love to facilitate them if the security teams agree, because then we remove the ambiguity. You still need to calculate the sum of a row yourself, but yeah, I don't know.
So I didn't understand that this seems like duplicative of the feature that you can add weights to issues. You're saying they did this as a workaround because you can't get a good idea of the weight on an issue board?
Yeah, the problem is that backend and frontend might have different weights on something. And you can show that right now. Yeah,
Okay, splitting it makes sense.
splitting it. Yeah.
So right now we're kind of hijacking the weight most of the time for the back end, and then the front end can't weight it. So that's a good discussion as well. This is really just for calibration, but if we want to discuss, like if we want to do, are there corresponding front end weight labels? I'm assuming IP.
If you change the search to weight only, you will see that they have the same color and are front end. But unfortunately, backend uses Fibonacci and front end uses 1 to 5. I don't know why. Yeah.
One, two, three. Okay. Oh, entertaining. Okay. And so just to add add a little bit of color on this, since this question came at me first on Friday, as far as the Fibonacci weighting, as far as those descriptions, this is matching the way that I understand how Plan uses the weight field. So to me, I think it's Plan that has put these labels in, and it's matching. Since I was following Plan's lead, it's matching what it should be matching what we have up above in this agenda as far as for backlog grooming, what weights should mean, or roughly. I think the language is a little bit different, but it should be. But in any case, we can recalibrate if we need to. But
yeah. So now I'm understanding Ross's question was a definitional one. Consider documenting whatever the standard is in the handbook, since I don't think we consider definitions single source of truth. Maybe we do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to add a little bit of mud to the water, and say, maybe just T-shirt sizing. Because Fibonacci, I mean, obviously, the higher the number, the longer or more complex it's going to be as far as effort or complexity. But do we have a cap for that number, right? So we don't really understand what that means. That's why maybe T-shirt sizing can simplify things, small, medium, large, Anyway, just food for thought.
We'll iterate. What we have right now, what we're doing right now is certainly not perfect. It is certainly a V1.1. It's a first step, at least trying to understand capacity and as far as what we're doing from a throughput above and beyond velocity of MRs being merged. So in any case, we can keep working on this. Agreed that this needs to end up in the handbook. I will volunteer to put an MR forward and put it out within the G-Secure static and dynamic channels, and we can move conversation to that MR if everybody's good with that. All right, I see thumbs up. We'll move on. Unless Ross, you got anything else you want to discuss on this one?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. All righty, since I'm next. All right. Casting call for brown bag sessions. So I've always heard these as brown bag sessions. I've also heard them called as chalk talks and things along those lines. And I'm stealing from the description that is in the epic that has been filed. However, we occasionally run into topics that everyone can benefit from, but do not fit within the context of a single bullet point on in a weekly conversation. The examples that are in the epic that you'll see, like it could be about how extends works. It could be there's another one in there, and I got to remember it as well since I wrote this at a weekend happened. Why are we using Docker and Docker, and why do we want to get rid of it? These are some big meaty topics that is useful for us to understand. It is also useful for us to dig in. And frequently we're going to have someone on this team who's going to master one of these topics. So this is an epic where I'm inviting, please everybody file issues on things that you think would benefit, that everyone would benefit from, that need more breathing space than 2 to 3 minutes in a weekly conversation. The intention is that these will be recorded, that they will go up on GitLab Unfiltered, and that way we can have these for our own benefit and team member benefits going forward as we dive into these issues. So this is anyway, I've been talking about this for a while. It was time to get this into an issue, so the Epic is here. Please contribute.
And that, so just process-wise, so I have one. The process is I create an issue on this Epic, and then
Yes, sir.
we schedule it in the secure group calendar and let everyone know. Cool.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it similar to the deep dives that the other teams have been doing?
No idea. Haven't had a chance
Okay.
to attend those.
Okay, cool.
So-
I will have a look and cross-link it if I find it.
I think that the difference is mainly the topic, actually. The deep dive is something very broad that could last for more than 30 minutes. Whereas in this case, it's something that would be too big just for our weekly. We don't want to spend 10 minutes on one topic. And it's also something really optional, so compared to the weeklies. So it's something very, very small, specific, like the extents or extents is working in the GitLab CI configuration. Make sense?
Yeah, I mean, just my interpretation, because it was originally called learning conversations, seems like the goal is more team learning rather than solve a problem. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would agree with that. The intention is that the problem has been solved by one person, and that more people can benefit from that knowledge. So let's use this as a medium to broadcast that information out to everybody within this group. So, all right. Any other conversation for this one? Sorry.
I would just say also that the audience might be a bit different. The deep dive are generally for the whole company, whereas these brown bag sessions are more, I think, for secure. The goal is to raise the bar in the team, not especially in the company. So we can be very specific on what we're doing in secure, instead of getting very high level with other topics, if that makes sense to you. All right.
All righty. The chats are funny. The chat conversation is funny at the moment. But anyway, I'll hand this over to Dennis. Dennis, you're up, please.
I just wanted to say that AppSec team is going to actively use the security dashboard. So expect a lot more feedback coming in there. Yeah, that's pretty much all.
Okay, then I'll take the floor back again. Sorry, Kenny, you went on mute. Go for it.
I was gonna say that's awesome. It's great news.
Yeah. Yes. More feedback, the better. We appreciate it. All right, I wanted to go ahead and broadcast my intended work schedule. Now, this is not an expectation for everybody. However, as we mentioned earlier, we now have APAC-based employees, and I'm trying to find a way to provide as good an employee experience as I possibly can. So I want to go ahead and let everybody know this is what I'm planning to do. These are U.S. Eastern time, so East Coast time. So what I will be doing is, instead of inviting people to watch a recording of us talking our weeklies, I'm going to be repeating these on Monday evenings, so Tuesday morning for those that are in Australia or the Philippines. And also going ahead and conducting one-on-ones, and there will be a second coffee chat scheduled in U.S. evening times. So if you happen to be on the West Coast and 6:30 a.m. Thursday is too early for you, this might be something you'd be interested in attending.
I am a fan of this because I don't like morning.
So these will be broadcast on the Secure Team channel, Secure Team calendar as well, so that everybody will have the option of attending. But but it's specifically aimed for APAC-based employees. That way, we can provide as good an employee experience as possible. So just letting everybody know what my intended work schedule is. That way, if you're looking for me, this is what I'm going to be marching towards, at least until I need to change it for family reasons or whatever. But I'll broadcast that here as well. And over to Kenny.
Yeah, I just want to say I know I love that this team is continuing to do ongoing grooming throughout the iteration, and so I have this board. This is my de facto board for scheduling and prioritization. There's still a couple of places where it's buggy in terms of stickiness of prioritization, but I'm going to maintain this board as a planning board, so you can look ahead at like 12.3 and 12.4 and know that it's there and prioritized. And so that also means, and I've said this repeatedly, the board prioritization is not a great place for having a discussion, but please don't let that limit the fact that like, oh, this doesn't make sense that this is prioritized this way. Feel free to comment to me in Slack or other places that this should be ranked differently, or you have an opinion about it. This isn't like product throws a prioritization out. It's just really hard to have a collaborative discussion about prioritization in our tool, but please don't let that limit if you want to have a discussion, having one. That's all I had.
All right, so I got the next one, which is, I didn't get it in fast enough on the list where we were talking about new people starting. So Seth Berger is starting tomorrow. He will be another back-end manager, and I believe he's going to be taking over dynamic analysis. So just thought I'd let everybody know since we don't have the announcements anymore. So.
Okay, and I have the next one. I just noticed that I didn't see any UX product design team members. I don't remember where we landed on them attending this or both, but I'd like to see them at least on the invite.
They were splitting, so I think Andy. No, I don't remember. Is Andy and Kyle were splitting as far as attending and who they were going to focus upon. And
yeah, I put an answer, but it's on the next page. It moved down.
Yeah.
Okay, but but neither of them are. I just want to make sure they're aware of this meeting. I guess is my point.
Yeah.
So whoever owns the invite, they can both be on the invite and choose which one they want to attend.
Yeah, I'll send it over their direction.
Cool, thank you.
All right, Olivier, close us out.
Yeah, sorry, Adam. My bad. It looks like I gave you the wrong link to Zoom chat, so
That's okay.
it's my fault.
I got here eventually.
So yeah, please welcome Adam. He's joining, as Thomas said, he's joining the SCA team. So could you please introduce yourself to the team, where you were before GitLab, where you wanted to join the team, where you're located, and what you like to do in your spare time?
Sure. So my name is Adam. I am living normally in Sydney, Australia, but for now I'm in Canada, visiting my parents, where I'm originally from. And yeah, it's great to be part of the team. I was working for a company called Westfield before this, which was a large retail shopping company, doing identity management using Go, and before that Ruby on Rails. I'm excited to be joining GitLab. I really like the product. We spent so much money and so many hours doing very similar things to what the GitLab product is. So it seems like it's a really useful system. And I'm excited to be on the secure team because I've been getting more and more into secure aspects of software development. In my spare time, when I lived in Canada, I used to enjoy snowboarding, but now since I'm in Sydney, it's mostly being on the beach, and I play a lot of beach volleyball. So yeah, that's me.
Great, thank you. Very pleased to have you on board.
I see the sandboarding. Haven't tried sandboarding yet, but I think you actually can do it if you find the right sand dunes.
I think it's more of a desert thing. I did it once in Egypt, so yeah.
Yeah, it sounds dangerous, but fun.
All right, Adam, welcome aboard. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All righty, with that, we'll go ahead and close up shop unless anybody has any last minute additions to the agenda. All right, hearing nothing. Thank you everybody for your time. Appreciate it. Do not forget backlog grooming tasks, please. Let's keep those on. There are more in the list than there were last week because there were some items that are just slipping out of 12.1. So they've been put in 12.2 and we never put weights on them. So therefore we need to groom those as well. So please continue to work on that, and we'll continue to iterate this process as well. So thank you very much for your time. Have a good start to your week, and may the odds ever be in our favor. See you soon.